What is going on behind the scenes during this Bitcoin consolidation? Well, the institution Galaxy Digital dumps 80,000 Bitcoins worth $9 billion. And guess who just sold $200 million worth of Ripple? The co-founder Chris Larsen himself. Do these institutions have some insider information? And what will be the next move of Bitcoin? Let's analyze. Hello ladies and gentlemen of the Paradise Club, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise. Today is Saturday, last video of this week. Let's analyze Bitcoin. In the previous videos I've told you if you reclaim this resistance, next price discovery target, it will be at $121,000. As you can see, that happened. We have hit this resistance after I told you I want to see a bearish retest of that resistance. After we have done that, we have started to form some kind of pattern, head and shoulders pattern. Can you see it? I can see it pretty well. And we have been consolidating in this tight range for around a month now, okay? And we are together with that creating some other pattern. Very important to understand what's going on. We will be talking about it. And in the latest video that I've recorded for you one day ago, I have told you, look at this resistance, very important resistance. It cannot be reclaimed if the bears want to fight a proper fight, okay? And I told you I want to see a reclaim of this neckline if this head and shoulders pattern target should be hit. Let's have a look what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, the resistance worked as a properly analyzed resistance should work. We have got the breakdown with a very nice volume, and then we have tried to defend this neckline of the head and shoulders pattern, but we have broken it to the upside. As you can see, there were some rejections, right? On the 4-hour time frame, we have got rejection right here. After that, Bitcoin picked up back again, and we have started pumping to the upside back inside of the contracting triangle pattern. We will be analyzing what's going on, what we are retesting right now. We will be taking a look at the volume and how that supports the price action or not supporting the price action, and we will be determining with the highest probability what's going to happen next. But first of all, I want to share with you some insider data that will help us to understand the market context, okay? Market context is extremely important if you want to be creating a properly analyzed crypto signals, okay? So I will share with you what big buy walls and sell walls I'm seeing on spot and futures exchange, and we will be talking about who initiated this price action to the upside. Was it smart money? Was it dump money? Was it spot buying or futures buying? What was it? Okay, we will be discussing that. So first of all, let's take a look at the sell walls on the futures exchange. We can see a little bit of spoofing right here. It was stronger, then it became a little bit weaker, but at around $120,000 on futures exchange, we have $31 million sell wall right here, pretty big one, and $66 million sell wall right below that, okay? The market makers are defending the PHL and the previous local high right here. As you can see on the spot exchange, we are having a huge sell wall, $51 million sell wall right above us, just $400 above us. We are defending this point of control of the TPO right here from the weekly basis, and we are defending it with $52 million, all right? So pretty big one, ladies and gentlemen. If we take a look below us, it's quite nothing, right? Quite empty, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying something cannot appear if it will start dropping, but so far they are not defending on the futures exchange the price from falling to the downside. The only defense I'm seeing right here is at $109,000. We are having almost $50 million buy wall right here at $109,000 on futures exchange. If we take a look at the order book, we can see some buy walls at around $115,000, $114,000, but pretty much it's quite weak considering the asks above us, right? If we take a look at the price action, let's take a look on the price action. Let's analyze who initiated this price higher, and we will take a look at open interest and cumulative volume delta. That will help us to understand what's going on behind the scenes, okay? So price action is going higher, it's creating higher highs and higher lows. Let's take a look at the open interest. The open interest is declining, right? The open interest is diverging from the price action. What about cumulative volume delta? We can clearly see that we have more aggressive selling going on than aggressive buying. There is this difference. We will be talking about what happened right here that will help us to understand what's going on. But because of the price action going higher, but the open interest is not increasing, is actually going lower, I do believe that this price action higher is created by shorts covering. When you close your short position, you need to buy a contract, right? And basically that creates spikes higher. But if it's not supported by cumulative volume delta, by some aggressive buying, you basically understand that no new buyers are coming in, and that is why this price action is not enough sustainable from what we are seeing right now. It can change, right? But from what we are seeing right now is not sustainable to start breaking above all of these important resistances. Of course, some fresh buying volume can come in, but from what we are seeing right now, and as a professional trader, you always need to work only with the historic data. That's all you have to your disposal, and based on that calculate the probabilities, and based on that create your trading tactics and strategies, right? So from the current understanding, there is not enough strength to continue, because this price action higher is not created by some spot volume, so by some new buyers coming in. It's most likely just short covering. As you can see right here, the CVD revealed itself, all right? The open interest declined and the CVD got a spike, and the price action right here, you can see the huge wick out, okay? What does it mean? Basically, it was some huge short position being closed that initiated a big buy spike, and because it wasn't a real volume that would be supported from the spot exchange, you can see this huge wick to be formed, okay? So no new contracts being opened, no spot buying. I do believe this was just a short closure, like this whole movement to the upside, and that's decreasing the probabilities of continuation. It doesn't diminish it absolutely, it's just decreasing the probabilities that the bulls will be able to break above the important resistance levels that we are seeing right now on the charts. Let's take a look at the funding rates. We can see that the funding rates on our website mycryptoparadise.com, the accumulated funding rates are still extremely positive. All right, what does it mean? From the overall market view on the daily time frame, we can see more long positions are still in the market than short positions. What does it mean? It means the market is vulnerable for a long squeeze, okay? If the price starts to push lower, for example by 5-10%, the price continuation to the downside will be much more easier, because once we start hitting liquidation levels of these long positions and their stop losses, a new sell contract will be initiated, because if you want to close your long position, you need to sell, right? And that will basically help the price to move to the downside. It will create this kind of domino effect. So be very aware of the accumulated funding rates and watch it with me 24/7 on our website mycryptoparadise.com, because it's changing. This data is changing. That is why with the Paradise team we need to monitor the market 24/7 and adjust our trading strategies based on that. If we take a look at the order book suit on the spot exchange, it basically confirms the idea that spot was not smart buying, smart money being distributed. That is how this order book suite going into a negative numbers. Distribution is going on this price action to the upside. Important to understand that we are also waiting for some huge confirmation signals where we want to see below the resistances some absorption of buying pressure by watching the stacked buying imbalances, and once we get it, we will get very aggressive as bears, okay? So we are waiting for the stacked buying imbalances to appear. It will increase the probabilities that we are about to have a reversal. If we take a look at the fear and greed index on the 4-hour time frame, we can see how very quickly we have jumped from that point 20, and in the previous video I've told you, watch that point 20, ladies and gentlemen. It's the time when the people are in a panic mode. It's going to be a reversal point to the upside. As you can see beautifully, we have hit that on July 24 in a late evening, ladies and gentlemen, early morning of July 25, and after that we have started to push to the upside, and you can see how fast we have went to point 60. Extreme greed going on in the market right now. It's not absolutely extreme, but you are not only watching the 20 and 80 points, you are also watching how fast it goes there, right? And based on that you can determine how people are feeling, like are they really feeling that they have missed out, or that they are really in panic. So very important to watch how this is going to unfold. As you can see from the previous points, every time we have hit this level right here, we have then started to push to the downside. So watch out this with me again on mycryptoparadise.com website. It's for free. You can monitor that on multiple time frames. Let's take a look at the liquidation levels. We have a huge liquidation level of long positions at around $114,000. As you can see above us, it's not as bright as below us, all right? That basically confirms the accumulated funding rates right now in the market, and it shows how vulnerable the long positions at the moment are, the over leveraged ones. Let's jump into the ultra high time frame chart. Let's take a look at some technical analysis. Something very interesting is cooking, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, we can see an extended bearish divergence. This this is an RSI indicator, and you can clearly see that we are creating lower highs, right? Lower highs. The price action, however, is creating higher highs, so a clear divergence. And if you know from our website mycryptoparadise.com, you can see clearly that this is the strongest bearish divergence that exists. And because it's extended, we are not just connecting 2 points, we are connecting actually 3 points, right? This is very strong bearish sign, ladies and gentlemen, okay? The momentum of bulls is decreasing with every push higher. And when the bulls are getting weaker, the bears can start taking over. For confirmation, we are waiting for the MACD to have a bearish cross the same way we have that right here. It will increase the probabilities for the bears exponentially. Another thing what we are waiting for is how this weekly candle is going to close. We are closing the daily candle in 1 day and 8 hours, okay? If we are going to close below this resistance $121,000 that I have been analyzing for you in the previous videos, it's going to be bearish. Together with that, you already know that we are having the shooting star candlestick pattern, something similar what happened in January, right? The shooting star candlestick pattern is usually observed at the tops of the bull trends. If you see the shooting star candlestick pattern, it's a warning sign that the reversal to the downside might be incoming. As you can see, we have got that in January. You remember, if you have been in Paradise Army VIPs, you have been catching this move beautifully with us, but we have got more confirmations from the candlestick perspective. We have also got the bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. That is, this secondary candle is engulfing basically the body of the previous candle fully. So we are waiting for more confirmations for this to happen as well. If we will get this weekly candle not only to be closed below the resistance $121,000, but also it will close as a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern, these two, it will be another bearish sign, and it will increase the probabilities that we are about to start to go to the downside, okay? You know exactly what we are looking at right here on the weekly time frame from the previous videos. If you don't know, definitely watch the previous videos to have a proper understanding of what's going on from the ultra high time frame perspective. Let's right now zoom in inside this price section. Let's take a look what's going on the daily time frame. So right here, let's analyze the volume. This is pretty interesting. What happened on the attempt of breaking this ascending channel trend line, okay? So as you know, we are creating the ABC. I will not be going deep into that because I've been telling that to you in the previous videos. So on the attempt of breaking below the moving average trend line and the ascending channel trend line, take a look at the volume, okay? Is definitely above the moving average volume trend line. So huge volume right here, ladies and gentlemen. And the next daily candle closed below the channel, okay? So this is some kind of a bearish signal, but as you know, for the signal to be extremely strong, so you can go very aggressive, you need to have a proper reclaim. So breakout with more than average volume is one sign. For a successful reclaim not to be catched in a fake out, you also need to wait for confirmations like a bearish retest, and then you can say with a highest probability that we will have a reversal to the downside, and this is going to be acting as a resistance, and it will have a successful SR flip. So right now what we are waiting for the successful bearish retest to happen is not only the daily candle closure below the support, but also I want to see a retest. So I want to see a secondary daily candle to be closed below this ascending trend line of the channel support. I want to see a touch which we are having right now. I want to see this touch to be holding, and we will not close back in the channel. If we will close back inside of the channel, ladies and gentlemen, it will increase the probabilities that we might continue to go higher, and again it will increase the probabilities of reclaiming the $121,000 as I have been telling you about in the previous video. And if that's gonna happen and we will be able to turn this into support, we will go to a new price discovery target $135,000 from the major perspective, okay? So right now be very aware of what's going on the daily time frame. If we will start closing back in this channel, there is a high probability that this is not an ABC, but this was from the Elliott wave perspective a first wave, secondary wave, third wave, fourth wave right now finishing, and the fifth wave will take us towards $135,000. All right, so let's also have a look what's going on with the RSI indicator. You can see, unlike the price action, the RSI is already having a bearish cross, and find a proper reclaim, right? So we have got the breakout, we have got the retest, and we have got the continuation. This is exactly what I'm waiting for the price action to appear as well. But the RSI can often work as an early sign. So if the bearish reclaim, successful one, already happened on the RSI indicator, it usually precedes the price action. So you can expect that something similar with the highest probability is going to happen next, right? Of course, you cannot be trading without confirmations. You cannot go aggressive without confirmations. Don't bet strongly on your cards if you don't know what are the cards on the table, right? So if you don't see at least 3 flipped cards on the table in poker, you don't know if your probabilities are increasing or decreasing. So you don't know how to bet. Should you increase your bets? Should you decrease your bets? Should you fold? Should you go all in? You don't know. And this is the same thing with trading. You need to wait how the price action is developing, and based on that, adjusting your portfolio exposure. Let's take a look also at the stochastic RSI. Here is something very interesting, all right, because we are going in the oversold area and we are having a beautiful opened legs going there. Let's take a look what happened in May right here, all right. We have also got the open legs right here, open legs, beautiful. And take a look what happened after that. After that, we have started to drop, right? You know that we have been catching this movement with Paradise Similar VIPs, taking profit right here, and something similar is going right now, right here. We are in the seller dominant section, open legs, ladies and gentlemen. This is quite important signal. If we take a look at the MACD, we are having bearish cross right here, open legs, okay? Let's right now have a look what's going on the 4-hour time frame. It will give us loads of more information. So first of all, we are creating 2 patterns right here. We are creating the head and shoulders pattern, aka one head, 2 shoulders. You know exactly how to trade this and what is the next target. We have been measuring that in the previous video. The target of the successful reclaim of this neckline would be $109,000, okay? So this is the first pattern that is forming. The target of this breakout is $109,000. A secondary one, if this is not an ABC move, as I've been sharing with you on the higher degree time frame, but it's an impulse. This is not an ending diagonal, but a 4th wave, okay? And a 5th wave is coming. And the 4th wave would be creating a contracting triangle. We have been talking about that in the previous video. So confirmation for this being a contracting triangle and that we are most likely going towards $135,000 is the reclaim of this resistance, okay? If we can turn it into a support, this is going to be your long trade entry. Also, if we can have a retest of this successful one, it will increase the probabilities and you can place stop loss very tightly and your targets very far away, which is what as a professional trader you need in your swing trading strategy. But let's take a look on the kind of retest right now after the breakout we are doing. So as you can see, we are right now trying to overcome and we are fighting with the VPVR, the volume profile right here, which is at around $118,000. And as the bulls are fighting, let's have a look at the volume, okay? On the breakout, we have got a beautiful volume above the moving average volume trend line. On the fight back, we are having quite low volume, and this is basically confirming that this is just shorts covering that I have been showing you a few minutes ago, right? So with the highest probability, it's not sustainable for a continuation. If however it is, there will be new buying coming in and we will break above this resistance, reclaim it, and then we will be able to continue to the upside to go. So watch how we will be reacting to this Fibonacci retracement levels, to the 7861 right here, which is also confluencing with the descending contracting triangle trend line, and watch out for the volume. On the breakout of at least the first confluence, which is the 618 Fibonacci retracement level and the descending trend line of the triangle, you want to see a nice volume, okay? That will give you some hint that probably new buying volume is coming in the market and the higher probability of reclaiming this resistance is increasing. If we can however start going back below the neckline and we will have a successful reclaim, which basically means again a breakout. Let me push the brush right here. If you will have again a beautiful breakout with a reclaim, you know already that we are going towards $109,000. $149,000, and we will be retesting definitely the liquidity pool. We will be liquidating the people at around that $114,000. I've been sharing with you where the long positions have their stop losses, right? And we will be targeting this support right here for sure as a target of this head and shoulders pattern breakout. If we zoom in even further into 1 hour time frame, ladies and gentlemen, in case this is the ABC and we are creating the C fifth wave from the higher degree perspective, this is an ending diagonal. Okay, this ending diagonal, as you know from the Elliott wave perspective, which you are learning about from our website mycryptoparadise.com and our MCP free university, is basically being formed by 5 smaller waves, right? And all of them are corrective mode waves, and the fifth one is the last one. Let's have a look how we are performing. On that case, you can see we have created a first wave right here, then secondary wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, and after that we have started to break the ending diagonal, possible ending diagonal on the lower time frame. And right now we are trying to retest, we are trying to have a bearish retest. As you know, the proper reclaim is made out of nice breakout, okay, and then a bearish retest. So if this resistance trend line can hold, we will be going down towards that $109,000, and we are creating a new impulse after this ABC corrective mode wave pattern that I have been talking about right here. ABC ending diagonal right here. We are creating first wave, secondary wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave that will take us towards that 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level on the higher time frame, which is at $109,000, right? So from the lower time frame perspective, this might be the first wave. If this resistance will hold and this previous local high will not be broken, we are creating a secondary wave, and after that we are gonna have the third wave, the most impulsive one, that will take us towards $109,000, ladies and gentlemen. However, if we will be able to reclaim the resistance, pay very close attention for how this trend line will be reacting. If we can have a reclaim and also above this resistance, we will start continuing our price action to the upside towards $135,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, paradisers, be very cautious right now. The price is contracting. We have been consolidating for a while. A huge movement is coming. In Paradise and VIP, we will be catching these moves. We are monitoring the markets 24/7 with the Paradise team. So we are watching and seeing absolutely everything. If these videos are helping you, smash the like button, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Cheers.
My crypto paradise.